the bits and pieces I
Then
saw.
move on with this news that came out of nowhere. And it literally was one day they have a meet, from what I can gather, they have a meeting and it said they tell the students and the staff that you have, first I heard it was until August. And then it's the end of June, and now it's tomorrow. If you on some try and be morally right or whatever, and I'm not saying that morally right stuff that King was talking about. Right. That's different. I'm not talking about that, because ain't no way you putting women and the kids in front of water hoses and police dogs, and they don't give a damn. Excuse me. I'm a teacher, and if I'm not teaching your children, people have a right to come and say, "Hey, look, man, you're not doing what I need you to do for my child." But you have to be involved too, right? So you can't tell me as a parent, unless you're involved, that you're not doing my child right. I need y'all to correlate this to what's going on around here as well. You can't tell me I'm not doing your child right if you're not involved in the child's life on all levels. The issue that it is now is blatant in everybody's face.
Yeah.
It's blatant in everybody's face. So we're not sitting there talking about what can we do for residents. We don't care nothing about the residents.
Never about the residents.
It's never about the residents. And the issue that people are having that I see, and they still won't let me come down to the council. When I'm out of school, I'm just gonna go. We out of school in a couple weeks. I'm just gonna come to one. I don't care.
You live.
All right. Good morning, family. How y'all doing? All right. We're glad you're here for us this morning. And, if you celebrate any of these holidays, go back and look at what we did last week, right? Last Tuesday. And so, if that's what y'all do, happy holidays to you. If you celebrate family, that's even better, because that's what it's supposed to be about in the first place. I was, and I had a couple different things going on in my head. Man, that's kind of scary sometimes. That type of stuff going on. What is one of the greatest crises that Black people face in the world?
Acceptance.
Oh yeah, that's never gonna happen. And the other thing that's never gonna happen, and that's an excellent answer to the question, because I wasn't even thinking about that, but you're absolutely right. Because part of the issue is that we want to be accepted, right? That's part of the problem. But how many of us are very aware or have heard of the term environmental racism? Environmental racism. Ms. Hendricks, that's an absolute wonderful answer. But we talk about, we have to be respectful of who we are and where we come from first. So you all hear us say it a million trillion times that in reality, in this world, we have no friends. And we have to be very clear about that, because there are people that are going to come around you and they're going to sound like they're on the same wavelength. They're going to sound like they're talking about the same thing that you're talking about. But the reality is that they're not. They don't. They're there for selfish, almost imperialistic ways. They're not there to do the common good and the greater good of people. And we've even seen this, the more that we dig into some of the groups that become prominent, the leaders that they stepped out or they were forced out into the public view. If we look at what they did things for, what were they there for? So if we want to be accepted, then we have to stop having self-esteem, have group esteem. If we want to be respected, we have to stop having self-respect and have group respect. If we're not clear, or even if we let other ethnic groups say, okay, well, you're not like us because but we have to be clear, and I don't think that we are many times. We have to be very clear that there are things that the world has now that even in under the hellish conditions of the warfare on people and all the horrible, atrocious things that were done to our people as ancestors. I mean, can you imagine you watching your daughter get your hand cut off because you didn't get you had 20, you had, instead of 200 pounds of rubber, you had 199 pounds of rubber, and somebody cut your daughter's hands off and then set them in front of you? This is what happened in the Congo. Or some of the atrocious things that happened to African people here in this place during the period of enslavement. And I don't even understand how people can. There's evidence all over the place that shows that this happened, and people want to be in denial of it because it doesn't make them think about it. But yet we survived and prospered to the degree that we did until we were sold out to believe an idea that we should have never believed. And we lost our group respect. We lost our self-respect, right? We didn't no longer believed in the group anymore. We no longer had respect for those persons who made ultimate sacrifices in their lives in order to bring some awareness to what was going on in the world. Now, that don't mean that they did everything that was scrupulous, because if we look at the Kwanzaa, you can go back and look at the person who created that, and you'll find out that there's some stuff in his past that was dirty. And I'm telling you what I know. But at the same time, like the separation that we have, and this is one thing that I talk about that Brother Malcolm always said was, I don't care anything about your isms. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you believe. If one person is oppressed, we all are oppressed. So it's okay for elected officials to be fine with bombing Nigeria because you're really trying to get to Niger, and you're also trying to get to Burkina Faso. But yet the black Christians that did go through hell here, that were hung, that lynched, get beat up, get shot by the police, you have nothing to say about that. You ain't bombing police departments the way you did in 1985 and bomb MOVE. You're not bombing police departments to say, hey, don't do that to them. They're Christians too. I want y'all to let that sink in real, dig it, let it dig in deep. You're going to another country, other than the fact that they have resources, other than the fact that they're forming a united front against colonialism and racism and white supremacy and everything else, right? In Burkina Faso, President Traore has paid off, but because he didn't let any of his resources be exported, paid off the IMF funds that they had in less than 2 years because he kept their resources and wouldn't let them be drained by the French. So now they don't owe anybody anything. He's rebuilding the infrastructure, schools and hospitals and things like that, that they're curing things that are going on in the country that was brought in by invaders. Now, he said something that, and I understand where he's coming from. Well, we don't want to have people from America to come here because I can't trust them. Why? Because we come in here acting like Europeans. I haven't been to Burkina Faso, but I've been to Senegal. right? Twice. And one thing that I liked about how that they treated people is we came in humble, not acting. I want to stay over here in the bush with people that's doing stuff. And we didn't go in there acting the superior, that we knew certain things. You knew I was a teacher. So, of course, I had an opportunity to go in the classroom and do some teaching in the 130-degree weather in the summertime. But it's absolutely beautiful. These people have real actual fans in the ceiling that blows the air down to keep the classrooms cool. But yet the delight to teach was important. They taught me a little Wolof. I taught them a little English. And I still get letters from some of the babies now talking about when you coming back home. One of my nephews just got married. Those things are important. See, we've lost the fact that our identity with each other as family. And in this system of racism and white supremacy and all this other stuff, the whole point of the exercise was to destroy the family. Everything in this system was about destroying the family. Because the family is always the foundation of any culture. They want to erase the fact that we did certain things in the world that the world still relishes in. You don't know math or science if we don't create it. It's not Pythagoras. It's not Aristotle. It's not any of them. Amos the scribe, who is the one who created this triangular system of measurement, because he was the one who helped build some of the pyramids, so the Imhotep. Not this crazy shit that you saw in the Mummy. Don't listen to that. That was foolish.
Well, Hollywood got to make it acceptable,
right? Yeah, because you got to make the first world's foremost genius. You got to make him look psychotic in order to make this Jesus Christ complex come by. Because now you got this Brandon Malone or Fraser or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Brandon
Fraser. Yeah, he got to save the world. So you got a savior complex.
Well, in case y'all don't know, I just let you know. I got my book last night and I started reading it.
What book? What's
Council of Nicaea.
Oh, see, they all because Tuesday, we rocking back on Tuesday.
Oh, and that's why I got a head start.
Good, we rocking it on Tuesday,
and it's not a thick book, family. Let me tell you, I think it's like 50 some pages.
Is it 50 pages?
I
know it's probably less than 100.
Yeah,
it's between 100 and 120, or 50 and 120.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Oh, it's not.
I'll be done today.
Oh, see,
and I get to read it again because sometimes I have to read it like 2 or 3 times. And then, because I remember this was my first time reading in probably like 10, maybe 15 years.
Right. Because see, you got a different. I got the orange copy.
Yeah, that's the original one I had. Now they brown. It's like brown.
Okay, but I'll find it and bring it in, and we can compare notes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, while we're here, I want y'all to give me an idea of this newsletter that I'm gonna put out. Right, I want you to give me the title for it, right? Because it's almost done, but I want you all to give me the title for it. To me, it's going to be called The Propaganda, but we already dealing with that. But I want y'all to give me a deal, so y'all come up with that. I'm gonna let y'all do that
because I got some questions for you too.
Go ahead,
you didn't mess me. You got me thinking now because I've been reading.
Here we go.
Like I said, I've been reading. So, how do you feel about with the United States going into bombing them? How do you feel about that?
I think that is absolutely out of order. You can't sit around there and talk about you going to help Christian people there, and you don't help Christian people here. How is it that it's okay that the 9 people got killed in the church and it was okay? Now that wasn't under your watch as the president, but you're not telling them to go ahead on and execute that boy.
Yeah.
So the people that police stopped and shot and killed, they might be Christians too.
Yeah, because I've been looking at, like I said, I got on some of it because I know I was having a conversation yesterday with Trevor about it. I was like, and I seen some of the people over there said, well, they bombed that. They ain't report no terrorist acts over there.
That's what I'm saying. So all of a sudden, you're saying in the media that there's something going on over there that you're going to go defend, but you didn't. At what point in time, other than negotiations for oil, and if Nigeria starts to say, we're going to do the same thing like to everybody else, then you got a problem, which is the same reason why you're attacking Venezuela.
And they didn't have no say so, because that's what I was telling Trevor. I said, really? I said, what if the government pushed back? I said, the United States are going to still do what they want to do.
Right, because he's being a bully.
Yeah, he was basically like, yeah. And then when you hear it, like I say, I don't just go by what our media say. I go look at what on the national level,
right,
what the media say coming from them. And you know what I'm saying? It was like their government didn't have no choice.
So then, if their government didn't have a choice but to let them come in and bomb, what's the point? And then the other part about that is why you such a weak ass government that you let him go do what he wanted to do. And not that you have a army or navy or air force that you can defend yourself, because you don't. And see, that's the other thing that that we're missing is these people don't have billion-dollar airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
These people don't have billion-dollar destroyers and submarines and aircraft carriers. They don't have any of that. But and yeah, if he's after resources, and since you can't get them by money, then you're gonna take them. Just like the other day when Trevor was on in the morning, I was able to catch it before my students came in, and he was showing this new class destroyer that's ineffective and inefficient. What is it about? Oh, well, he's going to name the Kennedy Center after him. Why? Who is this person? He's going to want the new stadium that they expelling people out in D.C. And y'all talk to Yogi G because she lives there. Morning, brother. There's for $1 billion stadium that he wants named after him. And that is absolutely right. So now you have, okay, so now you give it a little bit different twist, because if that's the case, right, that China's in control, then that's really an attack against China. It's not really an attack against Nigerians. But you're absolutely right. And I've seen many, many, many different people talk about how the Chinese who gone over there and bought their way in to certain parts of Africa and then control it and tell those people, we build a restaurant here, you can't even come in here.
Yeah.
But why don't you expel them? Because you let them buy their way in. So you've done the same thing that other countries have done. Oh, okay. Ooh, I like that. You see what Yogi come up with?
Yeah. How about Flint and Focus, or Truth from the Tap?
Truth from the Tap. I like that. Oh, let me write that down.
Shout out to Yogi G.
Yeah, that's what's up. I like that. Okay. So pick one though, since you did all of that.
Good morning to beautiful people who all tapped in. Thank y'all for tapping in with Brother Elliott and myself this morning. Shout out to Sherry Allen, Yogi G, Mark.
Yeah, Hutchison. I like that, Mark. That's it then. Truth from the Tap.
Yep. Sandra Nichols Martin, Unc Carl Lewis, Concrete, Skylar, Denise Cousins.
I got it. That's it. That's what we're going to call it. Truth from the Tap. That's it.
New one. Lawana Terry, thank y'all all for tapping in.
We appreciate y'all being here with us this morning, family.
I mean, because I was looking at it and it was like, to me, that's why I say like Africa, they finished with trade, colonial.
Right. From colonial rule we're talking about from the 1400s.
Right.
So you're talking over 600 years of having somebody else extract all your resources, destroy your. You don't have Firestone and Goodyear tires without what happens in the Congo with Cecil Rhodes. Good. Listen to what I'm saying. The very same tires that we have on our cars, until they were able to develop something synthetic, comes from what he did to those people there.
What you think gonna happen to Europe?
Europe is gonna die. It has to. And the people that should be responsible for their life is Europeans, not somebody else, not bloodsuckers.
Good morning. I ain't going. I mean, Philly in the house. That is rough right there. Because I'm like,
but is it rough for people that have suffered 600 years of death and desecration and all of this other stuff? It's no different than here.
No. I mean, but see, they can't. But see, that's when you know people don't see that, because they can see, like you say, they can see the ones at the top can see. Let's take away Medicare. Let's take away snaps. But now, if Africa say, hold up, nah, we want our resources back. We want to control our own. How you think them other countries gonna make it?
Well, but see, the only concern that I have is the fact that you're getting out of one bed winch relationship with another one. So now you go to China and Russia. Same thing. So then if you see the racism that's going on in Nigeria with the Chinese people, you let them in.
You trading one master for another.
Trading one master for another. Now, the other part about that is that they, listening to what Traore said, because we come over there and we don't come over there trying to be on par with the people that are there already. We come over here with a superior mindset because we hope to have had superior way of thinking because we have access to what we have access to.
Yep.
And so, I'm going to stay in. So they built these resorts and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't want to stay over there. I want to stay over there with the people. Other than the fact that you got to be used to drinking the water and the food's going to mess your system up for a while until your body gets used to how the food is made and how it's cooked, because the oil that's cooked, the user cook over there is a real heavy oil. So it's going to run through you.
Right.
But once your body gets used to that, or you can go to the bush and get this stuff out of this literally walk into the bush, get this herb, put in some water, drink it, and it'll cure it. It's called buoy. I had some at home. I don't go buy Pepto for no upset stomach. Let's get a bottle of water, put this buoy in it, and to drink it, and it's gone. All of that.
You see, I feel you. You see what Concrete just said? No, China's the new. I'm going to put it up on. It should be popping up in a second. Said China is the new colonizer in the continent. Yep. When the U.S. took out Gaddafi for talking about unity within African nations, that opened the door for China to slide on in.
Yep, and then you're absolutely correct. I completely agree with that. And who was the president that took Gaddafi out? Obama.
With his Secretary of State, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
You're right. And so we sitting around here worried about what party? No, we can't worry about what party anymore. We have to stop that. The party means nothing. These parties mean nothing for us.
But how can you get people to wake up on that? Like they caught up that it's a two-party system when it's a right wing, left wing.
No, it's one party system.
Right.
One may give you a little bit more better treatment because that's what we are. But that's a smoke screen. The smoke screen is we want, the Democrats to treat us better. No, they won't. When are you going to treat yourself better?
I mean, because we've been fooled. Let's be honest.
From the very beginning. And then we don't have the gall. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
Go ahead.
No, because I'm just saying we've been fooled. We really think that we free.
Yeah, no, and we're not, because we're trapped in the system. And until we pull ourselves out of the system, which was Malcolm was talking about, which is Mark Delaney was talking about, which is David Walker was talking about, And when we figure we stuck here,
Mm.
honestly, we're really not. Go back to Africa. You don't want us to do that. Because we go back to Africa, what you ain't got nothing.
But then if we play that game, then like I say, that's a nasty game to play because then people can say, you go back. Where you come from?
Oh well, but
I mean, if we play that game when they say go back to Africa.
Don't give me a ticket.
No, I'm just saying, but when they do say that, then we gotta say, because it could be said to them.
That's the dumb thing to do, is to say we're gonna go, well, you go back to where you come from.
I mean, everybody gotta go.
Then that means everybody leave. And if Tecumseh wasn't screwed over by his brother, there wouldn't be no Europeans here anyway.
Sherry Allen just came on here. She said, listen, fellas.
I'm missing them. I'm missing them comments.
Cause she on the one on the phone, but I'm putting her comment up though. They said they only give you two choices to vote for, Democrat or Republican. So what's the other choice?
Either not or self. So you develop your own party. Because the other part about that is, as we can see this very clearly here in our small city. What influence do we have on the person? What influence do I have on a person in the 7th ward if she never talked to me? None. What influence do we have on a person in the 6th ward if she don't ever talk if you live in the 6th ward? None. Once they get in, they don't care. It's about their self-interest.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you rolling the dice. I'm not gonna tell you not to vote, but it's still you rolling the dice. I vote every time it come up.
Right.
Like I'll be voting this coming next year in 26. I'll be voting for the governor in Michigan. I'll be voting for I'll be voting for everybody that's on the ballot in 2026. Like I voted for the president. But I'm just saying in general, when them people get in, they don't look at you. They, you said, they vote. They I mean, only people they listening to is the big interest.
Yeah, and the big interest this goes back to what we were talking about the other day on Conspiracy Tuesday. The big interest is always where the dollars come.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's all the time, anytime. As long as you got political action committees and you got people that are paying and filling up people's war chests so they could get in and do whatever they want to do, that's where the issue lies. Because we're giving our power. The power is taken by money.
Mm-hmm.
It is not given to people based upon your morality. That's been dead.
Mm-hmm.
When Dr. King wrote the letters from a Birmingham prison, and he was talking about the morality of not only the black preachers but the white preachers and pastors or whoever in this situation of segregation and integration and how people were being treated, those letters fell on deaf ears because they didn't pay attention. That didn't matter to them. They were white preachers were supporting Bull Connor and George Wallace and all these racist governors and officials and coaches and everything else. Right? Why do you still have Rupp Arena when Adolph Rupp was a racist? Why do you have a army base called Fort Jackson when Andrew Jackson was a racist? And you look around, go to Detroit, Cass. You have Cass Tech, Cass Street. And Cass was a racist and he part of the Indian Removal Project. Because they still continue to name their monuments, right? Washington School after another racist and a slave holder.
Mm.
And they'll argue and fight about this part of our history. We should want to keep it too. And that's cool, no problem. Mm-hmm. But then you want to tell us that we can't tell our story here in this country, here across the world. But why are we listening to them tell us what we can't do? Why does there if you want to keep a Confederate flag, cool. Not a problem. I don't care. If you want to have a swastika, cool. No problem. I don't care because I'll tell you where the swastika come from. That's an African symbol. That comes from Kemet. That's where that comes from. And people don't know. And because of German, go watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. Watch the first one. Go watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. And now to clearly explain what they were looking for and where their symbol comes from. They turned it into something else, but the symbol is an African symbol. If we decided that because we don't have any resources, we have no resources. Let's be real clear. We don't have any resource we got doesn't come from anything we manufacture, which is the reason why we don't have a fucking community. Because we manufacture nothing, we make nothing, we produce nothing, we consume everything. They live off 198% of the wealth in this country. 100% of theirs and 98% of ours. Once again, we got 2 gas stations within a mile of each other and 2 liquor stores within a mile of each other. On Lippincott.
Yep, Lippincott.
And then if you go around the corner, they building a new gas station around the corner that looks like the one on exit 101. If you're coming up this way on Grange Hall Road, that it might be selling, higher end liquors and food and all this other stuff. Right there on Center Road, right by the highway.
I know you're talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is any one of us at? Nowhere. Yeah. And it ain't like we don't have the money. We have the money, but we're not doing anything to invest it. We're not doing anything to pool it because guess what? We've been taught. I can't trust you because you may run off with the monies. If you run off with the money, then you're going to lose a life or a family member. That's it. It's how the mob do it.
Right.
They make a pact that we're going to be in this together. And so therefore you can't say nothing about, you can't say anything about the Italians or the mob or whatever, according to them, they don't exist. But hey, all of it's set up, sweetie. All of it's set up. It's all a setup. You support me, I'm going to go over. The only person that we ever had that ran as an independent in a recent past. Right. Oh, absolutely. We just passed it. And it's going to be sweet too. The only person that ran as an independent in the recent past was Ross Perot.
Yeah, Ross Perot.
He was a billionaire. He said, "I don't know. I'll take $1 because I have to."
Yeah, but you saw the Bushes showed him.
Right.
They wasn't playing with him. But remember his greatest mistake when he got married. Here's the first one said, "You people."
And right there, that set off everything. Right.
It.
Yeah.
That's a really. But he was making. See, the thing with me when you get people when you get to people who have racism, and I'm talking about whites that are racist or have it on their mind, they don't want to say they racist.
Of this country.
Yeah, but see, they don't want to admit that. See, they want to be able to say, "Oh, you a boy," or you this, and they want to downplay you. But they get mad for you pointing it out. But like I said, Ross Perot might have been a good president. But I'm not gonna say he was the only racist one. But this is the stuff that a lot of blacks have to put up with when you going to vote. When you putting these people in here, you got to worry about the difference between a Republican and a Democrat. The Republican will call you the boy. The Democrat gonna go home and call you a boy behind your back.
Well, yeah, go watch the movie called Goodbye Uncle Tom.
Where is that? What it's on? If I can know where to go.
See if it's on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't try and see if it's on a streaming platform because the only one that it looks like they put any controversial.
It's on YouTube.
Documentaries or movies up is Prime. Because they got the one from school to prison, but we've been talking about that. As an educator, I've been talking about that for 30 years.
Yeah.
They just didn't put me in front of a camera, until now because I had hair and I wouldn't have looked the same. But I was way more radical back then than y'all here now. This is the light version of me. Trust me.
Right, and I'm looking at Sherry Allen. I remember Ross, but his platform was racist.
Yeah, but they're all racist, right? Everybody got to jumping up and down and clapping and screaming and shouting because of Obama.
Yeah,
but he had to play to the system.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to play outside the system because How in the hell have you ever seen in your lifetime of looking at presidents somebody stick their finger in somebody's face? I'd have broke her damn hand.
He wouldn't have done that, family.
Shit. Don't
I'm
believe
try-
that. You ain't put your finger. If you don't put your finger in my face, you better be my mom or my daddy or my older siblings. That's it.
Yeah, that's total disrespect.
That was complete disrespect from the president of the United States because he's a black man from a white woman who was a governor of Arizona. She said she wasn't. It was one thing, and it's one thing to be playful and on point or whatever, but she stuck her finger in his face like he was a little boy.
Yeah, I seen that, B. Marie. No, that's what I'm saying. That's rough. But see, this is the stuff that you have to go. And what was the one senator that hollered out, told him he was a lie?
In the
State of the
speech.
Union, yeah. See, but this is the stuff that you can do. But what was it? What was the decorum at for that?
But and that's the thing. So therefore, if you have a person that was elected by the people to be a representative, and I think we had but he was in another country. The Bush, when somebody threw a shoe at him.
Yeah,
he was in another country, right?
Iraq, yeah.
And then you talk, but here this happened. The heckling happened to Obama in the States.
Yeah.
And they talk about his wife like this. And wait a second. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis allowed her husband to sleep with another person in front of everybody. Both are husband and brother. She ain't say nothing. It's always taking the high. We're gonna just take the high road. We're gonna take the high road. For what? What do we get out of taking the high road? Just tall enough for me to raise my foot to kick you in the ass a little deeper. But we won't retract our resources because we really don't have any. But we won't retract our presence more than anything else. The reparations idea is dead because they wrote that out in the 30s. So I don't know why people keep on talking about we're supposed to get reparations. I can understand for those 5,000 people or so that they did that they just murdered out of no reason, but they're not going to give you that.
No.
The only reparations that we can get for ourselves is if we build a community, we build real community, and we start to pool our resources. I don't care if we have $20 here, $15 there, or whatever, and you start pooling together and doing other stuff with that. But to think that we can get within a party and make them change some things, no, it's part of the structure, it's part of the system.
No, it's as they say, is woven in the DNA.
It's the DNA of this country. Once again, we're gonna sit around here and keep on talking about we're gonna say, oh yeah, that market right over here. I got you, the party store. We're gonna sit around here and talk about we can get inside and change. No, you'll conform. That's what it's for. When the so-called founding fathers followed the Iroquois Compact and from the 5 great nations and wrote the document that they call the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, that did not include the native savages and the persons we can consider to be 3/5 chattel. That's written in there. It's not typed in there. That's written in there.
But they overlook that. See, that's why they want to try to change history.
Oh, but you can't. You can't change it.
But
you
they
can't
want
change.
to. I'm saying
you can sit there and erase all of the color off the pyramids and off the pyramid to the myrrh, and you still have it written in stone.
But this is why they've been doing it, though. Just think about it. Why would Napoleon shoot the nose off the Sphinx?
Right, because he actually wanted this. Remember, the British Museum wanted to dig the Sphinx up and move it to Britain. But this is not yours. Now, most of the nations now are saying we want our artifacts back. Guess what? Then there's no reason to go to the museums no more. They'll shut the museums down because the artifacts that are there are not European art. Even Picasso painted African paintings. Oh, he's a genius. He said, no, these are carvings and statues and a mask of African people or that African people created. They just copied and turned them around.
Mm.
This dichotomy is the same thing as African mask. We have to be very clear that this system doesn't work for us. The only thing that's going to work for us is us being community and family.
Facts.
I don't care if you go to church, mosque, whatever, however you believe or don't believe. It doesn't matter. The issue is that we're still under a system that's meant and bent and hell bent on destroying us. So you have this other racism called environmental racism, which is what we're dealing with right now. We had this so-called crisis since the 14 with water, and because you got a 60 to 70% black population, don't matter. And then the people that were in charge of the government at that time, who knew or not know, whatever, however you want to call it, walk away scot-free. The governor doesn't get charged with anything. He's given immunity. The mayor's given immunity. Now, who was it? Darnell Early, who was the city financial manager. The other people I know about, hey, no, y'all knew, y'all got time. And then 2 girls lost their lives over it. But they're given immunity. They can walk away. Just like all of the towns that were burned down were, and people that were murdered. They're given immunity because we didn't have nothing to do with it. Yes, the hell you did.
Facts. But that's called accountability.
Well, see, this is the only place that you can do what you want to and not be held accountable for it, unless you a person of color or a native person. And so many of us have said, well, I don't want to be accountable for the shit I do too. It's like you got people out here driving all crazy, tear your car up and then drive off. Huh? Because they ain't got insurance. Or they don't care. Now, they may have some other stuff going on, but still, it's an accident. Just fix it. Keep it moving.
Facts.
They want to run your background. No. You deal with the accident. You deal with what happened here, not whatever. But I don't care nothing about what they did in their past. You can't catch them up on that. You have to deal with the accident. That's what you're here for. Traffic accident investigation. Nobody asks you to run their plates and run their background. That's not part of their damn job. But this is what they do to catch us up. And these are the things that they do to catch us up. And then when they catch us up, we get stuck in they trick bag. Because, but instead what we do is we get hit, then we run off. I hit somebody and I run off. Because I done some shit. And so instead of me being accountable for something to happen, because I've done some stuff in my past, and they're gonna run everything. No. You don't get to run up. You can't have to probably run the plate, but you can't do no criminal. Dang, I can't say it. Criminal background check while I'm sitting here because of a traffic accident.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna take you in for this. No, you're not. No, you're not. Just gonna write the ticket for the accident and we'll deal with that. That's all. Well, people don't know that. Well, you got a 17-page list of shit that you did. That ain't got nothing to do with this accident. So what happened here in this accident? We deal with that, and then I'm going on about my way. If you catch me committing a crime, that's something different. Something different. But how can you talk about being a crime, catching the crime when you dealing with criminals? How is it valid that I'm bombing boats, bombing other places because of so-called complaints, or your so-called intelligence says that these things happen, and you're going to go protect people, that you won't even protect people in your own borders. How is it fine that if your papers come across your desk as the governor that says that this situation is happening, and you slide the papers under a couple of different files, let it sit there, and then when criminal charges come up, you go to trial, you're exonerated, and nobody can touch you again. And you still get paid. This is not if we're not looking at the writing has been on a wall for over 500 years. And we'll still think that by participating, we can make some changes. When people participate in the system, they're looking to get paid. They're not looking to make changes.
The system ain't gonna let you change it.
No, for what? It's making money off that. So it's okay to burn down Tulsa. It's okay to burn down Rosewood. It's okay to flood Oscarville. It's okay to raise Seneca Village and start Central Park. It's okay to get rid of Haiti. Haiti. It's okay to get rid of Black Bottom and Detroit and Paradise Alley. It's okay to get down. No, you on time, baby. It's okay to get rid of the south side of Flint over there where the Golden Leaf is. It's okay to get rid of all of these places. Well, we're just going to build a new I-75 come through here, and we're going to, but you do it through what they call urban renewal, and yet Black people lose. Here we lost grocery stores, pharmacies, schools, and jobs. And how is it okay that in either Arkansas, or Alabama, or Mississippi, one of those three, you got a group of white people that are talking about starting their own town, and no people of color and no people of no Hispanic people can be part of it. And then also in Georgia, you got I think 19 families that bought like 1,000 acres, and they starting a town, and there's an uproar about that, but not an uproar about the white families, white people doing the same thing. They're trying to stop the development of what the brothers and sisters in those families are doing in Georgia, but they're not trying to stop and there's no uproar about what the white brothers and sisters and white families are doing in I want to say Arkansas. And they're blatantly doing some training, like MMA fighting, shooting guns, all of this other stuff, just in case. Meanwhile, the Black people who are in Georgia are talking about building a town they call Freedom Town. And we just want to be left alone and govern ourselves. And there's an uproar about that. Let's go to Israel. In 1968, some brothers and sisters from Chicago decided they were going to move to Israel. They moved to Israel. Israel gives them a little plot of land, like 5 or 10 acres or whatever. They become self-sufficient, only needing 5% of anything from the government.
Arkansas.
Was in Arkansas? Okay, thank you, baby.
Carolyn had just put it up
there. 95% of the materials they create and make on their own.
Self-sufficient.
They become self-sufficient, and then the government shuts it down. Because they were self-sufficient. They only needed a few things from them. Dig their own wells for water, raise their own food, make their own clothes, grow their, raise the animals or whatever for whatever they need for themselves, buy more land, pay taxes to the government, and only want to govern themselves. And there's a problem with the Israeli government for them doing it. Now, last time I talked to anybody that came back from over there in Chicago was 2016.
That bad.
And they're talking about how much they were being harassed by the government.
Like I don't believe that and I'm not just trying to say because me and Bilal, that's my guy right there, Bilal.
Right.
And he Palestinian, and that's where his people from. They're catching hell.
Right. Well, but that's because you got black people all over the world catching hell.
Yeah.
And the reason why they keep us in a state of imbalance is because they understand very clear that if we decide that we're going to put our resources together as people and what we do in our head, then they no longer have dominance in the world. The only thing that what keeps them dominant is the fact that you can blow up some shit.
Yeah, why you think they don't want you to read? Like when you see the players, they don't want them to be educated. They want them to be the education they want them to get is what they Jack and Jill running up the hill.
Right.
They don't want them to be free thinkers. That's why when you see them athletes, every time they jump out of bounds, they leave remembrance that if you go against us, you see them NBA players, they have a show they used to have, come on, where are they now? They will show you, okay, we remember all that money we gave you, we can take it back from you. You won't even know how we did it.
Well, look how a stupid response from a football player got this clown who was out of order, getting ready to get paid.
Yeah.
Man, now here's the deal. He said something that was egregious. I'm clear about that.
I agree with that.
But why wouldn't you just go have him thrown out and sue him? Why wouldn't you throw in God, the black man in truth? Okay, yep, that's right. Brother BNME. Yeah. Why wouldn't you just sue him? Hey man, I want him thrown out. No, as a matter of fact, I don't want him thrown out. Have security come up here and grab him.
But brother, they know this. Let's go back to Vernon Maxwell. You remember him?
Yep.
The basketball?
Yep.
Remember his daughter when his daughter had just died?
Yep.
And it was a fan said something
and he about went
his daughter, and he went out in the stands and put hands on him.
Yep.
But he blew a $40 million contract.
Yep.
And he was out the league.
Yep.
Like, and I'm bringing that up because that was back in the early 90s.
Yep.
And we talking about 2025. You know this gonna happen. This ain't nothing new that people forget with Reggie Jackson. What you think? Jackie Robinson went through. Remember Reggie Jackson got on there. Remember it was the anniversary when they was down in Alabama.
Yeah,
they was playing one of the major league game, and he got on Fox and he told what he felt. And that's what I'm saying. But see, that's what society thinking that you dealing with. See, they not understanding, like, you're not going to call me an N-word, and I'm not going to, and I'm just saying with DK Metcalf, what he should have understood was you got money on the line. Go look what happened. Remember they call it the Motor City, the Malice at the Palace.
Right.
They didn't say how the fans got wild. They want to look at the players. Like, dude, there was no way no fan was supposed to come on the court. Okay, NBA players, this ain't the first time they've been fighting. But what you really saw was, and I'm going to be honest with it, and this is where the racism come in, that you saw white people getting their hands, getting foot to ass put on them. And they didn't want to show that across the world.
Because you always have to show black people in a certain light.
Right. You can't show that, okay, because you saw when Ron Artest went and walked them down.
Right.
You saw people, and them wasn't poor people that was the ones was sitting where they was sitting at.
Right.
Them was people who had I'm just saying allegedly, but when you seeing that across America, you thought they was finna show them black, I remember listening to the radio and what was they saying on sports radio, take their money from them.
But see, that's the whole point of the exercise. So even with the situation with DK Metcalf, right? Mm-hmm. And Sister Akil is absolutely right. You responded with emotion. The fan was wrong as hell, but you responded with emotion, not thinking about, you know what? No, I'm gonna do something worse to you. I had a kid ask me one day that I was working with. He said, "What would happen if I just decided to just haul up and hit you?" I said, "Well, I'd let you do it, and then I have you arrested on federal and he wasn't one of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I have you arrested on federal assault charges, and you never get a job because I make sure that you never get a job,
Mm-hmm.
and then I make sure that you go to jail, and then when you get out, I'll come and kick your fucking ass because I'm waiting. He said, "Man, you." I said, "Yeah, because you want to do something dumb just because you want me to respond on some emotion. I'm not going to. But I'll make your life worse because you'll never get a job. You have a federal charge of assault. And then when you get out, I'll find you. And then I'm going to make sure I'm going to take care of the job that I should take care of then. But I'm going to punish you." Well, isn't going to jail punishment enough? No, it's not. Because you didn't have a right to strike me. I didn't do anything to you. You just wanted to do it to see what my response was. My response is going to be far worse than you thinking it's okay. Because I would have had to, oh, no. I'm going to take him out of the game. I'm going to have him arrested because he said something out of order, slanderous or he violated my civil rights, anything. And I would have took everything he thought he had.
But this was the second time he did this.
The same fan
And
did it to somebody else.
And they had him put out.
Right. Once before.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, this is the stuff that you have to go through with. Let's go to an even a little deeper one. I don't know how true this is, but I'm just putting allegedly on it. But this is the stuff you have to watch. Remember Deion Sanders? Mm-hmm. Remember he poured some water on a reporter?
Right. Right.
What if
the reporter was out of order?
But what if the reporter grandson is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
Well, then there's that.
So what happens when your son go there?
Right. Well, see, this is going back to saying the same thing when you burn down our towns, but you're not responsible for it happening.
Right. They don't want to be responsible, but when stuff happened to them, they gonna make you remember.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make you go back and remember that you did this.
Yeah, it's only when they do it. See, that's why I think
So why are we still participating in a system that treats us this way?
Because we don't know no better.
Oh, that's because we don't want to go back and just make a decision to leave, or because we don't have resources.
No, because just going. Because my thing is this. Why we couldn't just build it here? Why we got to go to somewhere else where they're not going to accept you at? Because let's be honest, let's just say we go to Nigeria, we go to the Gambia, all of them is not accepting us like that. See, we thinking, and that's my thing. I don't want people to think like, oh, they finna just say the 40 million come there, they just gonna welcome us with open arms. No, it's not like that because they see the condition that we in. And we see the condition that they in over there because Africa is still, like I said, we calling it Africa.
Right.
And we still seeing, like you say, you got Belgium, they speaking French. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
so they got things on there as well.
Yeah, they ain't even got theirs together. So how can we're going to accept you here when we not even running our own?
Because we don't have our own.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm just saying how they going, because they fighting for scraps over in their own.
But and that's true. But if we took the genius that we have and everything that we have put our hands on and created, because we created everything, and decide that we're going to pull our resources out, and our resources is us, America dies.
But you got a point.
America dies. Europe dies because now you got people. But here's the issue: we can't come over there acting American. That's really the problem. Not that we can't add to the infrastructure. Not that we can't add to the economics of the education. We go. Well, I don't want to stay here. Or it smells. It's this. It's that. No. And when we go over there doing that, then that's what happens. Then okay, well, you acting like you American. Don't nobody want to be, nobody want to deal with that. What can we bring over there and put in to there at home? Or okay, let's say we start here. How can we pool our resources with the number of people that we have on the show? Right? So today we look like we got 22 watching. So that's 22 people. What can we start doing? What can we start doing? today, right now?
You said, what could we start doing? I mean, if you can get everybody back on the same page, you can probably. I mean, that's the thing. You got to get people on the same page. Because my thing is this: say even going over to Africa, and this would listen. I get into it with people every day about this, and I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I'm not a firing boy, so I don't want to like.
Right.
You can't gonna get me to go move in the country, and I'm just gonna go ahead and accept that because I'll say that from here. Like, man, I don't like the way this smell out here. You know, I want to be modernized. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to go and I got to go to an outhouse. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go back like I got to go back. We living like no. I want to see just like how because it's places in Africa. It's like being in New York.
It's a place in Africa way better than being in New York.
Yeah. And that's my thing. Like you know. And I'm just saying, what else? We built stuff here. Why we scared to build it again? You had it. You saw Brownsfield, Chicago. You had Rosewood. You had all these other places. You can do that now.
Absolutely.
But what was so different with the blacks that was here to build that was trying to build their own here to now?
No, there's absolutely none because we have the skill to do it.
Yeah.
The question once again is, are we going to say, let's say we find a couple of buildings around here somewhere, whatever, and they need to be renovated. And then we're going to use them for purposes of having a small community center, a school, whatever. Are we willing to pool our resources and say, okay, well, Brother Mick, this is our project, but you're going to run it because you got maybe a little bit more time than Brother Elliott. And you're going to run it, and then we're going to bring in Sister Kill and Sister Hendricks and Sister Deborah Luna, and we're going to bring all of these people in, Brother Carl and Brother Mark, and y'all going to come in and y'all going to help us put it together. Is there enough trust in the process in order to make that happen? And I think that's the biggest thing that we lack, because the biggest thing that we lack, to even hearing what President Traore said was, I don't trust black people because you act like Americans. So we have to get through that barrier. That's our biggest issue, is if you got somebody that don't know nothing about black folks because he ain't never really dealt with one, black folks here in America, and all he sees is betrayal. Look how much we betrayed ourselves on Dr. King, Malcolm, Fred Hampton, and all of these other groups, because you get a shiny new penny to betray the leaders of these groups or whatever. So I understand, just like when they've been trying to get him, well, they gave one of his soldiers $5 million in order to betray him, to kill him. And the soldier said, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I see. That's the only thing where he'll lose me at with that when he say, because you acting like black Americans. But when did
Europeans.
Right. Oh, he's talking about the European. Yeah. Okay. But when did he come in power?
He took power, 2-3 years ago?
2-3 years ago. Right. So he was talking about his people was acting blacks there because they was having it. See, he had to come into power, right?
No, it was coup d'etat.
But he had time to sit back and think, and he was able to plot and plan because it wasn't no overnight.
Right.
So he got to see his people. They was acting like Europeans, but who was over there?
Well,
who was running the country?
French. Right, the French was running the country.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's the thing. That's just like, why you think America, they so mad right now? America, you think they really... The biggest thing is, what you see that they fight is, you seen a browning of America. They read that Pat Buchanan book, The Death of the West, when he was talking about how America, whites would be the minority
and that's
here.
Really
that's the beef thing. With
that's
that
the
going
only
on.
Thing in that we're dealing with in this country, in this world, is racism, white supremacy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because you know what the problem is, right? They know what they did. Their biggest thing is, if they become the minority, they feel that what they did, it will be done back to them.
And that's it. You're absolutely right. Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, I shared it on my page.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that last night.
I shared it on my page.
So let's take that right there. So we have Big Brother Maurice Davis,
Mm-hmm.
who rides around the city.
Mm-hmm.
And over there where his shop is at, he owns all of that, and that's a beautiful thing. We
Mm-hmm.
should be also be able to do the same thing as a collective.
Mm-hmm. But what happened when our people get in there? You got to think. A lot of the times that, because you hear it's not easy buying a house. Everybody want to make like it's easy to get one now. It's not, because it's a thing called gentrification.
Right.
It's on the way. They making sure that you're not going to be able to do it.
That's right.
So like, 'cause you would think, and I'm not, and it's no shot to Mike Freeman, who run the land bank or whatever, but you would think you would want to keep people in the houses.
Not unless you have a plan for to get rid of
Right.
them.
Yeah. Like when you're looking at these apartments being built, these condos, what is it? How do condos help poor people?
Well, this is the real. That shows you right there that there is more money here than what we think. We're just not in the pool of participating in.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be part of that particular group or party or pool in order to be able to participate and being able to get that type of money. In order to be able to say, okay, well, we putting in $700,000, $250,000 condos up here, and we getting rid of the housing around here, and whoever that can't participate or afford it, then who cares? You gone.
And that's, to me, is like, and they want you to be like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no fool. I get it. You gonna, but that's the true thing. When it was being said, those who stay will pay.
Right.
And it's like, y'all, I get it. So only way we can fix the city up, but we're gonna tax the people out. Yeah. So when Flint fixed up, but it won't be for poor people.
So then do we really have a water crisis? So do we have an environmental racist crisis here? Yeah, so why would you continue to build if why would you continue to build these homes if you have a crisis? Or is it going to miraculously go away?
They're going to eventually get it together. But see, H. Brad, good morning, what it is, though, but you got to look what all came up. You got to remember the cancer uptick popped up with that. Yeah. Remember, now we got kidney disease popping up, right, even though we got all these dialysis. And I think that's what's kind of stopping what's going on. I do believe they're going to fix it. But see, it's like whatever plan they got, this thing with this water put a halt. I mean, it ain't stop it, but it's bringing too many questions arising up now.
Well, because I'm gonna tell you something else that I found out and I heard that the lead levels are going up. Now, I ain't said nothing about that.
But that's what see what I'm saying on that. But then you got the EPA.
The EPA, yeah. Well, of course, it's a government entity,
right? So who you think?
And you don't have any such thing as an independent agency who can come in and say, you know what? We can test the lead and the lead levels in the water. You'll have companies that'll sell you water filter supply, whole house water filters that'll say, well, we tested your water for this and that and all this other stuff. It's got all of these things in it. But how can you be sure about their test? They just might be selling a product.
Because you don't know. But they will show you that anybody could be bought off.
Right.
Then you don't know we just look at the friends, brothers, and in-laws. Right. But we look at friends, brothers, and in-laws on a small scale like the mayor. You don't think that goes up there in Congress? That don't go up there in the governor office? That don't go through the EPA? You don't think certain people we'll look at here like, man, how that person get in that place, that certain position. That happens on federal level.
State level, federal level, all the way across.
You know what I'm saying? They put their people, they put their people. Then you got a thing called the Republican Party. Then you got a thing called the Democratic Party. Right. And then what both parties know is people love money.
Yeah.
So we give them that money. So why you think a big business like Ashley Capital can come in, a Fortune 500 can come in, talk to your council people, and then 1 minute, you know what I'm saying, next thing you know, they getting little gifts. Right. And you know what I'm saying? And this supposed to be against the charter.
Right.
But yet you'll have your the city attorney to come in and tell you, no, it's not against the charter.
Gifts?
Yeah. Hey, the city attorney, Flint said you can do it. And then don't nothing happen. And then you see they deal get pushed through. Then you find out other deals they done set with other people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's business.
It is business, but we're not part of it, and
Right.
we're not playing a big we're not playing a large role in it. We're just playing a role that somebody give you a gift, and then you take the gift, and then from there you can because I'm gonna call you on it. Hey man, you remember that watch I gave you?
Facts.
I'm gonna need you to pull some string. No, you gave it to me. Nuh-uh.
You forgot I helped you get your house done. What's up, Stanley Wood? You forgot I helped you get your house done.
Yeah. Not only that, I paid your house off.
Yeah, like
So now what?
We didn't gave you we didn't help put money in your pocket.
Right.
I help you get a nonprofit. Now we you getting money coming to you. So yeah, they know this. This ain't nothing new. That's why you see, and I said it about the clerk office when you seen about this been having this residency issue been going on. People who ain't been living in Flint but been voting on things that's been hurting Flint. Now you see how wicked that is.
Yeah, that's absolutely asinine.
But you got a clerk that's not gonna say nothing. Not gonna. She ain't gonna. You got people running from houses they don't even own. Yeah, what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
That
now,
don't even live there, but they got because they using their address. They can do it. They know this.
So now, is that crooked?
I mean,
it's not moral.
Yeah, but the system allows this to go down because when you got a clerk office that overlooks stuff, I just remember one time when Sis Audrey was running back in 2019 when she went to the clerk office, and at that time it was Miss Inez Brown and told her like this person didn't live here for a year. She overlooked it. Then when they wanted Miss Inez, when they was forcing her out, allegedly, but she did come in and say we need to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say you need to do better on your way out when you could have did something when you was in?
On the inside.
Yeah, and that's my thing. But these are black people. You know what I'm saying?
Once again, but see, how the issue is we no longer have a standard that we live by.
Yeah.
We no longer have a code and or a standard that we live by. So then we can do whatever anybody else is doing, and it's okay. Excuse me, you are, and it's okay. So how is that fine? That doesn't live up to the standard of the ideology and the norms in which we come from.
Mm-mm. But this is what we getting now. We not getting, like you said it plenty of times on here when you knew your council person was came to your house. Was you just look at the council people back in the 90s compared to the council people now? You see a big difference.
Yeah,
you can just look at your neighborhood and see the difference.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm not clear the reason why we got some busted trees in the neighborhood up the street from me, and but nobody come up there to cut them down. You should be, because if you're riding through at least twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
If you're riding through twice a month, you see that these trees need to be cut down. Come down and have somebody come cut them down.
And that's what's sad. But if
I shouldn't have to tell you that.
A certain part of the 7th Ward, though, over there by Mott College, I bet she have no problem getting to their issues.
Right. So then, therefore, that means she caters to only part of the ward.
Fact.
So then she's ineffective.
Because she know that certain side over there help with the clerk office that they don't really need the black vote. The mayor done showed you that. I don't really need your black vote. I just need 20% of y'all.
Yeah.
He know where he get 98% of his vote from. I just need 20%. And you don't think should no blacks be mad about that?
Well, we're gonna have to shake the tree then, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, look, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying this is nothing new, like they didn't do this back in the day, but it's like it's the disrespect that we do to our own. Could you see the mayor, a black mayor in the 80s?
No,
matter of
fact,
no. I say the council people sicking the police on the residents.
Could you imagine what would happen up in one of those council meetings?
And
you thought about doing that stuff? But see, the other part about that is you had people that were learned and studied. And they went in there, even if and there were moments in time with Mr. Cleaves going in there. I'm mad as hell because he's sitting over. But when you go up there and talk to him, you can't.
Yeah,
you got to approach him with some decorum and some professionalism. And he know I'm fiery.
Mhm.
Bro, come on. Hey man, hey young fella, come have a seat. You're not ready. What you
Yeah.
mean? I want to go up there and cut somebody out. That's my point. Come back over here and have a seat.
Yeah.
So when people went into the council in anger and in passion, which is really what it was,
Right.
the response was, "Oh, they're angry, so we're gonna do this."
Yeah. It was a silence. To me, a lot of them took from just go back to when Flint had emergency manager, and it seemed like, and I agree with Mother Claire McClendon when she said it still reeks of the emergency manager
Yeah, absolutely.
on how the majority of the council, how they treat the residents. It's
Yeah.
still, you know what I'm saying, but. It's just to me, like when I see the council people voting, certain ones, not all, but enough of them, that's voting for their own nonprofits, man. I don't know. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you who don't got a nonprofit when you see people in the mayor cabinet. Oh, let me say, not his administration got nonprofits. Like, I'm not mad. It's about the money, get your money, but you don't think you should have tried to at least help the residents here?
And we've talked about that before, where you're there doing whatever you're doing, and you're not helping the residents. But so then now, okay, so our last 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What can the residents do?
What can the residents, to be honest with you?
We're not powerless.
No, we got if you can get them up. To me, it's like the dry bones in the Bible. How can you get them up? It was a time that you remember during the beginning of the crisis, Flint Council used to be packed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that no more. It's like, how can you prophesize to the dry bones where they will stand up? Because that's basically what you need. You need the residents to get up, the last 70-some thousand that's left here, or whatever the number is. How can you get them to get up? Or let's just say 50. How can you get 50,000 people, wake them up to go to the polls and demand? And don't let these people demand because you even putting in new people, brother.
New people, same system, same
right.
result.
Yeah, is the people you putting in, is they gonna say, listen, we know we gotta y'all gonna get some, but y'all gonna get this water fixed. Can you get them? Can you get the new? And I mean, it's gonna be a fight, because don't get it twisted. The same ones who got the money, they're gonna haul you into court. They're gonna say you did everything, because they're not gonna let you mess up what they got going. I'm just saying, but whoever these new people is, do they understand what the fight gonna be?
Right. And I don't think so. So then the residents have to be informed. And that, because what we're dealing with is apathy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about going down the council and I'm mad because a tree fell on my fence and y'all ain't come cut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see that one older person all the time. And it's not, I'm not saying that this gripes are not legitimate. But if people were very clear about what the grievances were in their area, literally saying, going door to door, what can we do to improve the place where you live at? And I hope I'm not putting myself out there. Mm-hmm. And what can we do because we, like I said, right there on Lynn Street, we got a couple of trees that need to be cut down. But I ain't seen that person come around there and that's it exactly. I haven't seen anybody come down there and say we need to cut these trees down.
I don't know why she don't like to be in the valley. Does she like to be in the States, or she just like to be over in that area where the community college is at?
Because I ain't seen her over there. I haven't seen her at the store. Not that I'm looking for her.
Right.
I already saw what the response was the last time I spoke.
And that's what's so sad. These people will be coming to you I don't know if she look like she running for state rep, but how could she expect people to vote for her when they, just like I said, you a 7-4 resident.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I ain't seen you at all. So you're at the store one time and then you act like I was trying to holler at you. But yet when we was over there for voting over there at the church, you want to talk. You want to chit chat and kick it.
Wow.
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so she one way in public, then another way when she want that vote.
Yeah.
Wow. Little CC from the Regency. I'm telling you, she a gangster for that.
For sure.
She,
we talking and whatnot. And I'm just standing out there helping, talking to people, passing out flyers, saying, telling people to go vote for or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I get $5 out of it, whatever. And that's all it was. Like, damn, I'm standing up here on my feet all day long and all I got was $5.
Oh, crap.
I said, next time I'm bringing my chair.
Mark Hutchinson, rough. Good morning, Mark. He said, could it be you didn't see her because she was living in Davidson?
Ooh.
And I'm just saying, allegedly, that's what's been going around. But they said allegedly, by the land bank, allegedly, she finally bought a house in a 7-4. But you see how they let this stuff go on?
But if that's the case, then...
And that's allegedly.
Right. Well, where's the proof at? We don't want allegations.
No, I'm just saying.
We want to be able to say, look, she didn't live here. And she don't live here, so she didn't represent anybody. So her whole...
I mean, from what they were saying, she was able to use her mother's address.
That's not... No, you're supposed to be a resident, right?
That's what they say.
Well, I got to finish reading this charter.
I'm just telling you.
I gotta finish reading the charter.
That's what's so dire about.
Trevor for sending it to me.
Yeah, that's what's so dire. Man, they done broke the charter over 100 ways. The charter, like they did the residents of Flint like the United States did the Indian when they gave the red man when they gave them papers. That paper, that treaty, right? It wouldn't work. You could use it as toilet paper. Really, that's what you could use the charter for is toilet paper. Man. Might cut you.
I might as well just use it for the I ain't got birds, but put it in a bird cage then, huh?
You had a former member of the Ethics and Accountability Board said, and we got it on tape, the charter really don't matter. That was your ENA board member.
But hold on, the charter has to matter because that's the law that you're supposed to follow.
This the ENA board member said, a former, but now she on the school board, said the charter didn't matter. This ain't what Mick said. This is.
Wait a minute now.
Uh-oh.
We got two people.
Uh-oh. Hello.
Uh-oh.
No, but this had been going on, Brother Elliott. They had been saying this. This ain't nothing that just came up. Now, what just popped up. This ain't what Mick. No, it just things running around will show she just bought a house in a 7-4. So now she gonna be able to say she lived in the 7-4. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you can't say that you lived in the 7-4 just because you bought a house because you want to be reelected. You just bought a house. You wasn't a resident.
But that's the game. That's why I put allegedly on there. When you hear the different things, I'm like, damn. So they allowed all this stuff. That's why I say the clerk office is one of the,
So the issue then, other than so we got the making me right.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes, brother. 2 minutes.
Whew. All right, family.
We got a lot of work to do.
We got work to do.
Because you ain't got to go back to work next week, right?
Nope,
to the week 5. Oh, yeah, okay. So you're not a holiday over, so we'll be back on. Because we got to get back to this.
Let me know.
Yeah. What you looking like Tuesday and Wednesday? I mean, what you looking like Monday? You free
tomorrow?
Monday? Yeah, you free tomorrow evening?
Yeah,
because winter's not coming in, so we can probably come in and do something tomorrow evening.
I don't think I have any. I don't foresee anything.
If not, like I said, I can shoot you a link. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can shoot you the links. I can be from the crib, but we can do something tomorrow because she gonna be off, so we can come back and we can get back off into this about how to clean Flint up.
Yeah, no, we have to. We got to work, and because this is, but again, this is not just here; it's everywhere that we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere that we are, and we have to work at getting our stuff together. Because, like I said, if you got a person from another country, another part of the world, saying they don't trust the people that look like him
mm-hmm.
from coming from over here because of all of the bullshit that we've done.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I can agree with that because how would I know you're gonna come over here and you ain't gonna bring something over here to get me off me, to kill me?
Got a point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I said, I told one of my, well, they got mad. No, he's right, because we haven't treated the people in our organizations right.
Oh, we ain't.
Every time there's a person that died, it might have been by the hand of a white killer, but the other part about that is that was set up by somebody that looked like them, that was in a circle.
That we let come in.
Yeah.
Any final words, brother?
We gotta study, fam. We gotta study. We gotta get this together.
All right, peace, family. We'll see y'all.
Peace. That's all I can say.
We're gonna see y'all tomorrow. Me and brother Elliott to be on tomorrow evening. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.